If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Let's go, girls. Welcome to Tunnel Talk, a no facts, all feelings wrestling podcast on the Social Suplex Network. I'm Allie.
I'm Ann.
And I'm Leah.
It's fucking hot out, guys.
Dude, it's so fucking hot. It is
really
like
hot.
8:39. It's still like fucking 90 degrees here.
Wow.
I hate it.
Ann's like, sounds pretty nice, you whiners.
I'm like, wish it was 9 degrees here.
Oh.
You know what, Ann? I wouldn't mind it if I had brought my air conditioning unit upstairs, which I haven't, or if I were feeling well in my mind and my body, which I'm not. But as it is, fuck this.
Are you gonna bring up your air conditioning unit before like bed?
No,
Or are you just gonna
I don't have
die?
I don't have the strength for that. What do you mean? Go down to my basement.
So you're just gonna sleep in 90 degrees.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh
and
my
the
God.
one thing I forgot to do, this is a bit of a PSA. If you are not in the habit of keeping a water bottle in your freezer at all times, you should be. It actually did change my life when I started doing this because I have plantar fasciitis sometimes. And my dad was like, you should be rolling a frozen water bottle under your foot as a foot exercise because he gets it too. So I started keeping it there for that, but now I'm just sleeping with a frozen water bottle all the time.
Wow. It's like
great.
Little House on the Prairie with a brick, except
Pretty much,
the opposite.
but it's like it worked. I mean, I woke up. It's like been in there for in the bed with me for 8 hours. I woke up. It's still cool. Like something crazy is happening with this thing.
Wow.
But I did forget to refreeze it today, so we'll see what happens tonight. It's a rough time. Rough time for me. Wish I could send you this heat, Ann. Wish I could send you these hot rays.
It'll be here in like 2 days, so don't worry about me.
Good, great. I hope it leaves to get to you. I hope it doesn't stay here.
I wish I knew more about weather to understand why Allie and I are having hot
I know, since you're both
flashes.
significantly
That's not what it's called.
farther north of me.
Why are we both going through menopause? Mr. Weatherman, can you answer this for me? I don't know. I feel like something weird has happened with weather this year where every time I talk to both you and my parents who live in Delaware, it's like we're having the same weather and we've gotten used to it. So it's like we're basically like neighbors now, just being like, what do y'all think of this heat? It's like we live very far apart. Like, what's happening? I don't know. Anyway, good to see you guys. And I totally forgot to double check, but I believe it's your week to be happy. Are you prepared to be mandatedly happy for us?
Kind of, in that I remembered it about an hour ago and said, oh shit, fuck, God. But I did think of one.
Good.
So.
Sometimes you forget your homework. That's okay. I forgot your homework. You forgot your homework. That's okay.
Yeah, I could use a little more help from the teacher, but, it's okay.
Listen, teacher has her own trials. She's doing her best, okay? And she doesn't get paid that much, and she had to pay for this pizza party out of her own pocket, Ann, okay?
Teacher
Just
showed
cut
up to
teacher a
class.
break.
Teacher showed up to class today with sunglasses on, giant bottle of Pedialyte in her hand, and said, "Girls, we're having movie day."
Yep.
And let me be really
That's
clear.
exactly what happened.
Teacher didn't party last night. Teacher didn't go to the bar.
So
teacher
you don't
didn't have
think
a fun
watching
time.
wrestling with us is a party, is what you're saying?
Not last night. Just kidding. We had a really nice chill time, but I don't think that I should have woken up in the condition that I woke up in. Let's just put it that way. And be happy for us, Dance Monkey.
So what's making me happy this week is I started rereading the book Gaudy Night by Dorothy Sayers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Anne.
Which is, I think, my favorite romantic book of all time.
Yeah.
It's just so high quality. Dorothy Sayers wrote these mysteries in like the 20s and 30s that are so good. And most of them are just like super fun, like breezy little mysteries. This character, Harriet Vane, gets introduced. And if you've never read them, I would just suggest like diving into the Harriet Vane books and just reading
Strong Poison.
those three or four, I guess.
Four.
Yeah, because they are like super killer. It like has such good, like Gaudy Night is so perfectly constructed where it's a mystery, but it's still like she's kind of working through her own internal issues that are keeping her from this and deciding like her calling in life. And it's like so funny and well written and like suspenseful, and like everything about it is just absolutely perfect. Also, it's really fun to read. Atmospheric. Yeah, it's at Oxford. She's investigating like not a murder mystery. It's just like a general mystery.
What does she calls it like a not poison pen. She has like some name for like what's going on.
Yeah, it kind of, like poison pen or the poltergeist.
Something. It's like
college. Yeah,
mean-spirited and potentially dangerous pranks.
Yeah. But they're trying to keep it hush up. It's in a women's university at Oxford, or college at Oxford, like in the 1930s, and it was written then too, which is always fun to like read, like not historical fiction, but books actually written at the time, because sometimes things will really startle you. Like characters will be having these debates about like sterilization of the unfit, and you're like, oh no, I don't think that's a good idea. And like every once in a while, like a benign character will say something like, what this country needs is a Hitler, and you're like, when was this written? And it's like 1932. Yeah, it's just like that was a normal political opinion for a British person to have apparently at the time. So
I guess, yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. Not all contents endorsed, but all interesting to
and
you know,
to be clear, in
consider.
that book, the book doesn't have the opinion. It's just like a character says it at one point, but but just a super fun, like extremely high quality book, like so well written, so engaging. I love it.
Yeah, no, super seconded. All of the Harriet Vane books are so good. And you guys had to listen to me say this a lot, but she wrote a really interesting essay about writing the Harriet, like introducing the Harriet Vane character. And like you said, she'd been writing these like pretty standard, very good, but pretty standard like mystery novels. And she was like, well, I've introduced this romantic character. And so then, I'll give Lord Peter as the lead of the series. She's like, well, yeah. And so I thought I'd just get them together. And then she was like, but I just couldn't do it because like Harriet Vane, the romantic interest, was so psychologically real to me that then like I kept feeling like there was this impediment to like letting her, because of the circumstances under which they meet, like I just like couldn't let them get together because of the way he was. And so then I accidentally had to make him psychologically realistic, which he hadn't been. Like he had been more of like a sketch before. And she was like, I had to fill him out and I had to turn him into a real person. And Gaudy Night is such like exactly the book that you would expect as the culmination of someone being like, I accidentally had to make my main character a real person. It's really delightful.
Yeah, really dives into like the real issues you would have if you, had met when someone got you out of a murder charge. So
yeah. Couldn't endorse more. Go read and enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
Inside in the air conditioning for me.
Out by the pool for me.
Oh, Anne, that sounds nice. I'm coming to you. All right. One item of podcast business before we get down to it. This episode will be coming out on Sunday, June 22nd. This very day, we will be doing a live Twitch stream where we'll be watching some of the matches that you, the listeners, have submitted to us. We're very excited. The time for the stream will be 8 Eastern, 7 Central. United States, we live in the United States. Those are the names of the time zones. Allie, again, Pedialyte. And then our Twitch address is twitch.tv/ Tunnel Talk Pod. And we will tweet a link or Blue Sky a link or Skeet. I don't think I should.
I can't say
We're
Skeet
not saying that, right?
Like,
that can't be real.
It
I like
can't be
tweeting
real.
is also a stupid word, but like I've become accustomed to it. And this whole skeeting thing and Skyline, it's like we sound like I can't.
Like, doesn't Skeet have another meaning?
Feels like it should. Yeah.
But I don't know. It comes up in songs. Anyway. So twitch.tv/Tunnel Talk Pod 8/7 Central this very day, June 22nd, Sunday. It's a Sunday. Cool. Thanks, guys. All right. Ready to talk?
Y'all done here?
We're doing a Q&A at the end of this. We're doing a light episode because we did have a really fun time watching this week's Dynamite, but we only had this week's Dynamite tonight to respond to. We didn't have a collision, and there were basically no promos, which is kind of our wheelhouse. It's kind of our bread and butter. So it's a little difficult for us. We weren't sure how much we'd be able to say about some of the actual wrestling. So we'll do a light response to the show itself, and then we asked you guys to send us some questions, and I believe Leah is going to be our master of ceremonies. Yeah. She'll be leading us in a little Q&A.
Yeah. You guys excited? There's some good ones.
As long as there's some good ones, then I'm excited. All right. This week, AEW traveled to Arena, Mexico for the first time. Any broad thoughts on feelings about being in the location, the show itself?
I loved the stairs. Like, I know that, like, we're supposed to be, not that we're supposed, but like, the tunnels, we were very excited when they came back. I like to see them. But the drama of them going up and down the stairs fucking ruled. I loved it.
They're coming out to the ballroom.
Yeah.
They felt like they should have, like, there should be a little, the guy with the little scroll announcing them as they
That's where Justin Roberts should have been.
Yeah. Oh,
would have been standing at the top.
He should have had a little guy playing the trumpet next to him. Do, 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 do. That would have been fun.
Mikey Ruckus.
Maybe next time.
He's a trumpet player, right?
Maybe next time. All music is music, Anne. He could have done anything he wanted.
Yeah, I believe it.
Maybe next time. I thought it was really fun. It was like, it was just kind of fun to be like, wow, we're in another country. Like, what are y'all up to here?
I know, yeah. And the crowd was like so excited and so hot, which was really fun. Yeah, it was like, oh, they're like watching AEW, but they've also got their own stuff going on. Like, not to be like, wow, it's a whole other country down there, but it's good for Americans to have to watch things in other countries.
God, that's so true.
It's broadening.
Yeah. Like, we needed this.
Yeah.
I think we'll get into a little as we go how well we felt like we understood, like, some of the various wrestlers we were meeting. Did you have any broad thoughts about like how well we were integrating our worlds?
I thought everything worked really well. There was no point where I was like completely lost. I mean, there was that one, like, we'll get to it when we talk about Atlantis Jr., but like, I think for the most part, it all really worked really well. I just think luchadors are really cool. Like, it's like the way that like the masks always are such high drama and they all just move really cool. And it's like, I like luchadors. They're way cooler than when we visit, I don't know, the original All In. I'm like, our British wrestlers never come out with swagger.
I know British wrestlers are so boring. When do they even
guys, we're gonna get
English
in trouble. Fuck British wrestlers. All right. Okay. Let's get down to it. Hangman opened the show with a live promo in Spanish. He very sweetly was like, I want to apologize. I'm not great at it, but I'm doing my best. I did pretty good.
I thought he did pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it was fun for me because, like, I took high school Spanish, but my Spanish is very, very rusty and bad. But it's like, oh, right. Like, I understand Spanish spoken in an American accent. That's, like, not very advanced Spanish spoken in an American accent. Like, much better than, like, Spanish spoken by an actual native speaker. So I felt like, wow, I'm doing great.
That was your high school Spanish teacher, Mr. Page, there.
Right.
He told a story about, he said, when I was young, my family had a tobacco farm. Some people would come from Ruiz to work. They taught me about Mexico. We should all be good to each other and work together. Thank you, Hangman.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And he said, thank you for having us in your house tonight. And thank you for this collaboration between our promotions. And then he was like, I unfortunately won't be allowed to stay while Jon Moxley has his match, but rest assured I'll come back and beat his ass afterwards.
I love that because he was like, I've been banned from the building. And I was like, the CMML guys thought you were in trouble?
I know.
They let you give that nice speech, but then they said, you gotta go.
Yeah, they were like, they escorted me out here for my nice speech, and then they'll escort me to wait in my car for the remainder of the show. What do you guys think about Hangman's opener?
I really loved it. It really made me feel good. And especially in this, like, not to be like too much about it, but I'm like,
no,
it's really nice to have an American go out in front of like a more global audience and not embarrass the fuck out of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's like,
I like that. I like the message it's sent. I like the way he made me feel. I like the way the crowd responded to him. I was just happy. It was a good way to start.
Yeah, it was so nice to see, like, to do it in Spanish was so great. And then the whole rest of the show, too, where they didn't do that much, like, in English, you know, and they were clearly, like, trying to put on a good show for the crowd there. And it was like, wow, to watch Americans be, like, good guests for once in our lives is so nice. Like,
I know. And it does feel like, sometimes it does feel kind of twee to be like, well, you know, I don't know. Like, it's like, it's embarrassing to be embarrassed, kind of, but it's like, well, we are embarrassing. Like, you know, it's an embarrassing country, especially now more than ever. And with everything that's been going on, it was just like, thanks. I think this is nice. I think it's nice to go down there and, as you said, be like, we're trying to put on a good show for the people who are here. And I thought it was a nice gesture to do it in Spanish. And
really nice.
Frankly, you know, he didn't introduce anything crazy in there. So it was like, I'm not missing it. I'm having a good time watching Mr. Page do his speech, and I thought it was a nice message. And I once again was just like, you know, wrestling in the grand scheme of things, wrestling doesn't matter compared to a lot of other things. But I think that everybody should do what they can with the platform that they have. And I like to see people with any kind of platform just be like, I'm going to say something that is straightforwardly moral and kind.
Yeah. And I guess I think of wrestling also as not being a particularly progressive place. So like to feel that feeling about it was also good because it's like, it's not even that left of a position to be like, hey, people are people. But like in the current situation, like I'm sort of like, that was revolutionary. Choose kindness. Who would say that?
I know. It's kind of, I kind of like never want to get to the place where I'm just like, wow, it's like, you don't want to be too overwhelmed by someone just being like basically decent, or like, you know,
the bar's on the
your
ground.
stupid promotion being basically decent. But it's like, you do still want to say like, it's good to be decent.
Yeah.
It's good to be good. It's good to be good. You know, we may be the only people who are willing to say it, but it's actually good to be good, and it's good to not be a fucking jackass.
Yeah.
It's nice to go somewhere, be polite, and say we like you and we don't want to be mean to you.
Yeah. And I think he hit a good note where it's like doing it in Spanish and saying what he said was political, but not like too overtly. Like, I don't want to hear that man's name, you know, or anything like that. Like, I think it was just like a good message and felt good.
It felt good. You know what? Call us idiots, but we thought it felt good.
And what else can he ask for?
I mean, in this world, you can barely ask for that. So, Leah, did you want to say this thing about Hangman's little, you called it his growing his hair out face? But not his real hair for once.
Not his real hair, his metaphorical hair. I just think he's in such a funny place right now where he is clearly face turning and he's giving face promos, and all of the press he's done this week is face press. Like, it's all that stuff, but he's still coming out of the heel like side of this stage, and he's got his heel music, and it's just very funny. I think he's just in his awkward stage now that he hasn't hit the point where he can, you know, I assume at All In or the week after he's gonna finally switch over the music or whatever, but it's like I just think he's in a very like awkward stage of outgrowing his heel.
What have we said before that we're like, who like that we said that okay, we were talking about like how do people decide when to switch tunnels, and what did we suggest was our funny explanation of like, you just get assigned to a tunnel, like you just get told like you're going out this tunnel. But this vibe is more like the tunnel chooses you, and the tunnel keeps being like, I think you should go to the other tunnel, and Hangman's like, I don't deserve the other tunnel.
Yeah, I think we were talking about like their heart, it just calls to them, like they just drift through, you know?
I feel like Hangman's fighting the drift. Like, it's like he does kind of know, like, I should be going through the babyface tunnel, but he feels so bad and stressed about all the things that have happened. He's like, I have to earn it with the belt. When I have the belt, deep. I'll be allowed to be the babyface again.
We did talk at one point when the Bucks were coming through the face tunnel and they were very clearly heels, and I kept saying that I wanted them to like wince, like they were like getting hit with holy water. Yeah, but it's like Hangman's the opposite, where it's like, babe, the holy water will welcome you. The good boy tunnel, it's here for you. And he's like turning his back, and he's like, it shouldn't.
Surely he's gonna do the face music at All In, right, for the pop. Like when
I have to imagine.
I don't know, either that or he's gonna do something at All In that will make him feel justified, and so the real first time will be the Dynamite after. I don't know.
I guess you could do either, but I do feel like it would be like it would almost feel so wasteful not to get the pop. Yeah. And like, I feel like if you do it that way, then the pop is part of the thing that makes him be like, you know, make the character be like, wow, like they need me, and I have to be the man that they need.
Yeah. What would you think about like he comes out to the heel music, but then during the match he like does something that chooses good, and then when he wins, you know how they play his music at the end? Like, what if they play his music at the end and it's the good boy music? Like, that could also be a really good pop.
They could all work. I don't know if it's like basic of me to be like, no, he should come out to the good boy music.
I have that feeling too, though.
For
it's like,
myself,
I
I'm like, I want the moment.
Yeah.
He's a good boy. I can't wait to scream that in front of my brother and his wife will be attending with.
They're gonna have a really normal experience. Yeah,
I know. I just remembered that when I was talking to my brother the other night, he was like, "Do you have like is there any kind of like recap that we could watch of like what's been happening?" And I was like, "Oh my, okay, well I have my podcast, Nathan." But no, you couldn't get this as a recap, so I got to find something for them to catch them up.
There'll be that road
too. You're right, there'll be the road too. Yeah. But I'll have you guys will have to help me think if there's anything that Road 2 won't cover that that they'll want to see.
No.
All right. Okay. So we had that Hangman opener, and then the main event was this. How many men were here?
I think it was 10.
10. That looks right. 3, 4. Yeah, 10. Okay. So it was Death Riders and the Beast Mortos and the Young Bucks versus the Ops, Swerve, and Ospreay. Got a little quote here from Manolo. I won't read that one. What did you guys think of the match?
It was really good. I mean, like, it was. I have a big problem with that many men in the ring, where I'm just like, I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. What's happening right now? But like, they're all really good wrestlers, so I had a really good time.
I think after having been through the 14-man earlier in the night, which to be perfectly transparent, I was kind of in and out, and I didn't really realize they were all there until a certain point. I was just like, I don't know what I'm watching. Anyway, this felt doable after that, but it was a lot of men. Yeah. And at one point, his commentary said, everybody's in the ring. And it was like, yeah, the ring is not big enough for 10 wrestling-sized men. This ring can't handle it.
Yeah. Watching this too, I was like, I'm so glad that AEW has remembered that leading up to a big match, you can have the factions do different combo matches ahead of time, and that can be fun. Because like I feel like there's a weird stretch where they just like weren't doing that for some reason. It's like,
I don't know what was going on.
Send out
they
some
stopped
minions.
doing weird like combos, like, but when they were doing BCC versus the Elite, like I feel like they would only do the big team ups and they wouldn't like split them up for fun. Like they just stopped like doing like preview matches for a little while there.
Yeah. I mean, this has been such a good stretch I mean, this storyline has had such a good stretch of these because there's enough people involved that it doesn't feel like you're watching the same match over and over again, even though obviously a lot of the same people are in every match. Like every match has felt different enough that I'm not like, these are running together. Right. Didn't we already see this?
Pulling in Swerve and Ospreay and the Young Bucks like has been like so helpful. And even the Ops, it's like every time they're there, I'm still like, why are they here? Even though they've been here like the whole time, but it's still like adds some fun.
It's so funny what difference a year can make, where I'm just like about Samoa Joe now. I'm in such good spirits with him where I'm like, yeah, he can come to the orgy. I don't mind. That's fine. He can be there.
He wants to be there? All right, let him in. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's probably been pretty good for the Ops because now I'm starting to have a bit of a positive reaction rather than a nothing reaction to them. True. So this is especially, it's like, you know, poor Will Hobbs. There were some rough years in there, but now I see Will Hobbs. I'm happy. He's going to do a fun spot. Like, I'm having a good job.
All those fun spots where, like the one you screenshotted of the Bucks and Yoda trying to take him down. Like I'm on board it now. I'm like, yeah, Hobbs is unstoppable. It needs so many men to take him down.
It's great. Like it's like obviously he is just clearly very big and strong, but there's something when they do one of these. And I think that, like, Matt Jackson especially always fucking sells the shit out of these moments when it's, like, a really big man. And he comes out there and he's like, I'm fine. I can handle this. And then, like, immediately it's just like, I can't make him move. I'm too small. I can't make him move. And to have Matt and Nick both, like, clinging to one arm, basically, like, toddlers throwing a tantrum as their mom tries to get them out of the mall. Like, it's just perfect. The optics were just so good.
Yeah, and you've got so many people in the match who are fun and do fun spots. So it is like, what if 5 of us try to take Will Hobbs down? And it's like, yeah, that's fun. Let's do some fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, these are truly collaborative wrestlers. There's no one in there being like, I have to get my shit in. It's like, no, everybody's kind of being like, okay, the goal is to make the crowd lose their fucking shit. And you're like, thank you. That should be the goal.
Yeah. Thank you. We need that crowd riled up. I thought it was a super fun match. I loved Swerve. Ann and I had the same reaction at one point where we were just like, Swerve looks so good.
He did this big flip off the rope. It was just like, oh, he's so cool. It was crazy.
He did this big flip. He looks so cool. He always looks so cool. It's like, he's just like, always looks like a guy who's got his shit together, even when he's flipping out. And then the camera pans over to Will Ospreay, who's like flopping into the ring. He's came out wearing a bandage. I think, where did it go? Like, they were like
around his head, like a low headband.
Commentary had said, like, it's like because of the damage to his eye, and it was like, it's not covering his eye. It's like, what do you
It's like when they tape their ribs and it's just like right around their belly. Like, what are we doing? So and like his hair was looking so much better, but then with the bandage, it looked so silly again.
And it did look, though, it was like there was kind of like 80s exercise band vibe to it. And so he's just looking like disheveled ass. Like, but having the time of his life. He's like, I have so many fucking friends now. Like, Swerve was mad at me, but now he likes me again because I took that kick for him. And I was just like, the combination of these men with Swerve just like, I'm a cool guy, and Ospreay being like, I'm a fucking mess. I am a mess, but I'm having fun. It's just so good. I'm so happy every time. I'm just like, and they're teaming up. They're teaming up right now.
You should say the phrase that you actually put in this thing about Ospreay.
I think what I said was that Swerve is looking really cool, and Ospreay is looking more and more like your dog that got bit or stung on its tongue by a bee, and you had to take it to the vet, and then you paid $3,000 to get a Benadryl injection and a cone to put around its neck. And you're in the car on the way home being like, if you ever do this to me again. And he's just looking at you like panting, like,
yeah. And like you can tell in his eyes there's no regrets. No. Absolutely done.
He's just like, if I see another bee, like, what am I gonna do? Not try to eat it? Like,
and then I'll put the paws on the bed, you know?
Like, we don't have infinite money. We don't have infinite money. And he's like, I don't know what money is. Oh, you know what? I know what I like, bees. Like chasing bees. I love him. What a perfect guy.
The Young Bucks look good in their new gear. And
Leah, why don't you say how you phrased?
I said that I just feel more comfortable when the Young Bucks match.
Yeah.
Because for a while, when they first came back with the EVP stuff and they were doing the coordinating gear, but not the matching gear, I just kept being like, am I supposed to be tracking something here? Are they growing apart
Why would they
slowly?
do this? There must be a reason.
It's like, it's stressing me out. I don't know why.
I didn't like it. And it became clear that I was not supposed to be tracking it, but it unsettled me. I didn't like it.
No.
I just feel more comfortable when they're matching.
Yeah. You know what? I totally get that because it felt right. It felt really right. They come out, they're matching, they're in those little, when they're in vests, but the vests are open. That's what Mama likes.
That's what Mama likes, yeah.
Nick looked like he had like a 6-pack. I mean, it's like, he was looking really ripped. There were a lot of bodies. There were a lot of bodies in this match.
This is a body match.
I felt more comfortable too, Leah. I think we all felt more comfortable. They're literally twins, okay? So
yeah, as we all know, they're identical twins. So
we're not.
But you thought I was saying I feel more comfortable when they have a match?
I thought it must have been a typo at first. So I thought she was being like, I always just feel more. I have to remember to say I always feel more comfortable when they have a match. And I was like, that's weird. And then I was like, no, that's right. Yeah, I get that. It's like when the Young Bucks are gonna have a match, like I know I can go full passenger princess for that. Like no one's gonna ask anything of me. Like I'm not gonna get worried about the driving. I'm just like, the Young Bucks are driving. It's all good. If the Young Bucks don't have a match, I have a little bit more of a, it's like my foot is on the invisible brake. I'm like, this car, anything can happen in this car.
Anything can happen.
I gotta try and keep us safe. Did you guys? Oh, did you have any thoughts on the Beast Mortos being in the match? I didn't realize that this was a AAA CMLL situation. I just learned about that.
No, I'm not good at tracking who's AAA and who's CMLL.
Yeah,
No.
It's like I'm aware that they hate each other and that there's no crossover, but I always forget who hates who.
Yeah.
But I found it kind of fun, honestly, when I learned about. Like, I love reading this report that it's like Tony Khan personally requested that the Beast Mortos be allowed to wrestle in Arena Mexico, and it was his first match there in 14 years. And I was like, that's fun. I love thinking about Tony Khan having to go like, begging on his knees, like, please let my man Beast wrestler come to the arena.
My Minotaur would love to be at Arena Mexico.
I think it would be really enriching for him and necessary for me.
I do like hearing about like promotional rivalries in other countries and like when they do dirty tricks to each other and stuff, because it's like hearing gossip about like a friend group that doesn't really affect you, but like is also at your school, and you're like, wow, they're having a lot of drama over there. Like,
I know.
Seems messy.
That's the one thing that I craved a little bit. I thought I love the show. I love meeting all the luchadors. Commentary was really good, but it'll come up in the next section. So I guess actually I should leave it. I'll leave it. We'll get there later. Okay. After the heels won. Because the heels won. Did I say that before? The heels won. The Bucks and Mox were beating up on Swerve in the ring, and Hangman's music hit. And he marched out down the stairs into the ballroom. He's stripping off as he comes down, which isn't usually how you enter a ball.
Angrily stripping. Ooh.
But I liked it.
I liked it.
And he hops on into the ring and starts fighting with Mox. Swerve is still... The Bucks have skedaddled for the moment. They'll be back. Yeah. Swerve is still lying in the corner, like rocked. Hangman doesn't look at him at all.
Doesn't even like glance sideways. Doesn't acknowledge him in any way.
But Swerve was reaching out for him.
Swerve was reaching out, and it's like, and your music saved him. Your music, you have come out to save him. You won't be acknowledging that.
You won't be acknowledging it. That's not how you would phrase it. You would say that you came out for Mox.
I promised I would come out after the match.
Mm-hmm.
But you certainly did come out at just the right moment, didn't you? You certainly did.
Mm-hmm.
So he and Mox are fighting. Hangman tries for a buckshot on Mox, but Mox dives clear, and he buckshots Matt Jackson instead, who's returned to the ring. Nick is befuddled. Nick is
Nick did the funniest thing where he came over to help Matt, but like his vibe was kind of that he picked up Matt by the scruff of his neck like a little kitten, and
Mama
dragged him so
he did
funny.
drag.
He did drag him in like a way that like you would drag an injured brother. He was like, "How dare you do this to this kitten?" And then just picked it up.
Well, and it was a funny thing too, because it's like, especially because of how Matt ends up selling it afterwards, like the vibe was a little that like Matt's kind of being like, no, let me lie there, let him see what he did, and Nick being like, no, let's get out of the fucking ring, actually. Stop, I want him to see how pathetic I look. So there's a big, all the good guys are kind of like, except for Swerve. I don't know where Swerve was in this moment, but everyone else like ended up like kind of like standing together around Mox and the briefcase as Mox is like getting out of the ring. Thought it was a pretty good shot. Although, again, it's like, and the ops are there. Oh, okay. Well, all right. The ops are I understand. The ops are an integral key part of this for some reason. It's fine. The ops are there. And then afterwards, Hangman is like leaving. He passes the Bucks on the ramp. Matt has been injured. He's been hurt. He can't stand on his own. He needs the help of his brother.
He was like sitting like slumped on the ring and just like weeping softly to himself. And the vibe was like somebody who's been pulled over because there's like blood on the front of their car. And you're like, yes, I'm traumatized. Somebody stepped out in front of my car and hits my car with their body. Like it was like full on white woman tears. And I was obsessed with it because he was like, how could this happen to me?
Pobrecita. I'm just a little boy. I'm just a baby. It was so fucking funny. I mean, he really said like, I will not miss my mommy's little ham moment again.
No, he got it.
And I understand, because I'm sure it was humiliating to be beaten by Mox last week.
And to be beaten so badly, which I think we made really clear.
So badly. So I can understand coming into this week with an energy of like, let's lock in. Let's get her done. Let's not pull a single punch. Let's have the biggest, saddest eyes you've ever seen. And let's win that award.
Those were the boo-boo eyes.
Those were the boo-boo eyes.
Did you guys see that someone put the sad BTE music over this Hangman and Buck stuff? It's like so embarrassing, because every time I watch something with the sad BTE music, it's like a dagger straight in the heart. I'm like, oh wow, I have a really Pavlovian reaction to this music, and then I like just miss BTE so much.
Aww.
So good.
God, the BTE after this episode would have been fucking killer.
Yeah. The amount of elite melodrama we could get into with boy.
It just feel nice to be getting your elite melodrama. I mean, it's like, that's like, you're back on the good stuff. Because when Hangman was shooting them that look of just like, I can't even start with you two right now. Well, like, Matt is just slumped on Nick like, I didn't even do anything and you hit me like that. And
shot at me. I thought we were friends. All I've been doing is trying to help you.
I've only trying to help you.
I've been breaking my back trying to get him the title, and he treats me like this.
And so many people have said that, like, that anyway, it was just so funny. I'm obsessed. What else do we have here? I think that's everything. I thought it was a wonderful closing segment.
The other thing I will say is just that Hangman and Mox had a brief like kissing pose moment, and I just had this moment where I was like, this is horny in every direction that I look. Hangman is not looking at Swerve as he saves him. Horny. Matt Jackson's getting kicked in the face and crying about it. Horny. Hangman and Mox, like all of a sudden in that kissing pose moment, I was like, oh my God, you guys used to fuck nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah. And so I really just had one of those crazy moments where I was like, I really am in good hands. All of these men have me in the palm of their hand, and they're just going to take care of me. It's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay now.
Such a soft bed in the palm of their hands. Yeah.
Honestly, like a little rough for Swerve to have to watch Hangman and Mox have this chemistry again.
I know. And that he's had chemistry with both of them too. Like, you know, sure it's a little bit like, well, let me get in there. Let me get in there.
Somewhere Osprey's like, yeah, now you want to put your paws on the bed, huh?
So we all like having our paws places.
I know. I love that because I'm just like, Swerve doesn't have paws on the bed. Swerve's a cat. Swerve's a cat. So it's like Swerve is like jumping all paws on the bed and like stepping on their faces, you know?
And being like, well, you wanted me here anyways.
Yeah.
I know. It's like, and Osprey
I didn't even notice you there, actually. Like,
I know. It's like, oh, you're doing this? Gross, but I'll stay. Osprey still has his paws on the bed. It's like, oh my God, we're going to go on the bed now. Gets up more. Someone shoves him. No dogs.
Starts panting heavily. Gets up. Tries to jump. Can't make it.
Do you guys remember that scene in Homeward Bound where the cat is trying to show the dog how to get shrimp, and she's like, "You just have to act like you don't want it," and like you're just like, "Oh, I couldn't possibly. Oh, I guess if you really want me to."
I'm really happy imagining Swerve and Osprey in Homeward.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Great. Good stuff. Thank you, everybody, for our little feast. Let's swing back quickly to that opening 14-man match. A lot of men, difficult to track, but I guess about half of them were in the Don Callis family. May I say, that family is getting bigger by the day.
Yes. I would love to see the bunk bed situation in the mansion.
I don't know. Is he actually providing bunk beds at this point, or is it just like
grab a tent?
Yeah. He's renting someone Darby's tent. He's like, who do I know who has a bunch of tents?
Yeah, Darby's at Everest, so like those tents are going.
Oh my God. The idea of the Don Callis family renting Darby's tent compound because Darby's in Everest, and somehow the Sting Son is still just there.
The Sting Son comes with the tents, you know.
That's what we haven't seen yet, is that Sting's son is staying at the DCF mansion, but just maybe training with them too. But he's like, I don't know. Someone's like, they're really bad guys. He's like, they're fine to train with. Okay, yes. So they ended up winning this match with a pin on Dax.
Yeah,
Dax
which was shocking.
Dax Harwood laid his little shoulders down on the mat.
His little shoulders down. Good for him.
Yeah.
He said, I'm worried those girls aren't saying as many nice things about me recently.
He got high on those 2 weeks of nice things.
Well, you know what? You can have another one. Thank you. I love to see man lose clean. And and I'm sorry that your partner couldn't be there for some reason.
The thing is that, like, if they had just not mentioned Cash, I
would have assumed that we knew.
Yeah,
that
like that for some reason, like there was something going on, or like, you know, I wouldn't have made that big of a deal about it. But the fact that like Dax grabbed a mic to be like, and Cash couldn't be here today, made me be like, did he get caught with a gun again? Like, what?
Not allowed to leave. Mexico doesn't want him.
I know. Scared if he goes out, they won't let him back in. They'll let him back in.
I will say him in that green jumpsuit with Stokely as playing the Cash did sort of evoke the only other time that I've really liked FTR was when they were pretending to be frog luchadors, and I was like, oh, and he had frog energy, he just kept like bouncing around.
That's what I'm always saying about Dax. Actually, big frog energy. If Dax had a new gimmick where he's just a man who thinks he's a frog, he'd be my favorite wrestler. That'd be right. He'd be my new favorite wrestler.
Yeah, certainly making a play for it. Yeah. So far we've got Swerve's cat, Will Ospreay's dog, Dax is a frog.
Oh, I love Tony's menagerie.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Any other highlights of the match?
Brody King's abolished ice shirt. I started screaming in this, and I was like, "I've never stand firm. Brody King rules."
And we were all so happy that we didn't even try to discuss whether or not she actually has stand wrong in the past.
So we didn't check the tapes. We just let her have it.
We let her have it.
I don't think you can. Those tapes are lost. Those tapes are lost.
What tapes up?
Yeah.
I don't know how that blood got there.
There was someone recently where you decided to stand them and then immediately something terrible came out. Who
yeah.
was
I don't
it?
remember that.
It was when she
I have no
watched
memory of that. Move on.
NJPW.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah. Yep. I
That
believe
was,
that's
that was
on the
a
record.
5-second milkshake, Doug. Very, very happy to see Brody King in his abolish ice
Yeah, that
shirt.
was awesome.
Adam Cole was there. He got a really big pop, which for some reason was surprising.
Crazy.
I don't know. Poor Adam Cole. It's like, oh, how the mighty fall. Like, just a few years ago, he was at the top of the card, and now they all clapped for him, and I said, oh, that's nice. And it's not a pity clap. You really are.
You're really excited?
It was like,
Yeah.
so you guys like him? Oh,
That's wonderful. As long as you're happy.
Yeah.
As long as you're happy.
I love how badly we've become wrestling pilled about Adam Cole.
I
We're
know.
like, you guys like
Terrible
him
body.
with his baby body?
Adam Cole, your body is perfectly fine.
It's perfectly
It
fine.
is. The thing is that it's like, I think it's, if he just would stop putting other people's lights under bushels, I wouldn't say these cruel things anymore.
No,
but
it is about what he's done to Kyle O'Reilly. Yeah.
It's so it's even more fucked up than if he were just like, I only want to be boring, is that he's like, my friends must be boring with me.
Mm-hmm.
No, they mustn't. They must be free. They must be free of you. We also, in this match, we had Atlantis Jr. For some reason, oh no, they were both there. Okay, Atlantis Sr. and Atlantis Jr. But one of them was just called Atlantis. They didn't feel like they had to say Senior here. Well, they said on commentary, Atlantis Sr., Atlantis Jr. Commentary informed us that Atlantis Sr. is beloved by fans of Lucha Libre, and Atlantis Jr. is despised. I loved hearing it and immediately was like, who will tell me more?
Yeah.
Who will tell me more about how they hate the little Nepo baby? But nobody did.
I know.
No.
We do got to make friends with people who like tell us gossip about luchadors. Like I don't think Cubs fan gossips that much, but maybe I should start following because like
just DM him and be like, hey.
Yeah, just be like, do you have any fun stuff? Because I just feel like people kept being like, yeah, Mexican fans do that. And I was like, no, there's got to be like some fun stuff.
And like, I want to know, it's like something, I want to hear their perspective on like, oh yeah, this is why we think it's funny to boo that guy. My suggestion was that I thought there should have been a special commentary track on Max that you could tune into that was just someone like watching and then occasionally being like, oh yeah, okay, so the deal with this guy is, giving us the full like, and for the fans thought it was really funny when X happened, so they started doing X. I'm like, I need the gossip track for girls like me.
I know. This was once again a situation of like some men not knowing how to gossip, where commentary is just like, yeah, they hate him down here. And you're like, why? It's like, don't know, never asked. Like, okay, well.
It is so funny when commentary is like, a husband coming home being like, a horrible day at work because so-and-so got fired. And you're like, why? And they're like, oh no. They had to go to HR for something. Why?
Well, did you hear anything from anyone? I don't know. No, I didn't ask.
Please, just tell us.
We were talking about the Dodgers. I don't know what happened.
Oh, God. And then, I also thought it was very funny during this match. Don Callis was on commentary and at multiple points said something so deranged. Like he was just like, and my family and I are going to take over this promotion from the bottom up. And like, we'll have complete control of like everyone and everything. And then there's just a pause and Tony Schiavone goes, anyway, like so funny to me in kayfabe that Don Callis is like openly megalomaniacal and Tony Schiavone is just like, seems like somebody else's problem. Oh, you're gonna take over the company and put everyone in dungeons? Okay, well, back to the action.
Tony's like, I've learned my lesson. I won't be getting into that.
I won't be getting in that pickup truck. We also had Okada fighting Mark Briscoe because commentary said that Mark Briscoe is Kenny's really good friend. Footage not found.
The amount of lies they all want to tell me about who's friends with who. I just can't.
Please, God. I like that how often we get told somebody's like two people are friends, and we're like, no. And then we're like, now I saw these two people in the back of a shot one time, and I think they're best friends.
Yeah, actually, we've got quite a cloud story about these other people.
Yeah. And then we got another Okada Omega video package that I also was pretty much nothing. It came closer to doing what we probably would have wanted it to do, but then it didn't do it.
It was kind of just like a recap of last week, mostly. I really was just like, wow, Okada and Kenny are really committed to not doing anything themselves to build this match.
They said, you will not know our hearts.
Okada in the last 2 weeks has decided, but he's it's like they're in a get together shirt and they're both going different directions where Okada's like, okay, so I'm in the Don Callis family now and I'm with your your uncle who betrayed you and I'm going to be part of that and it's going to be like really cool. And Kenny's like, and I really respect you. Really respect you. Oh, okay. Cool.
Right, Kenny. I'm just gonna imagine at the very least that Kenny is like basically trying to like meditate his way through it. He's about to have a rage blackout, and he just keeps going. And I really respect you, and I really respect you. That's my cloud story I'll be telling right now.
What if they started doing video packages where instead of being like, and he won the title in June of 2017, what if they started doing video packages that were just like, here are the weirdest things they've said about each other over the years?
Oh my God.
I think I would learn to love video packages.
We should be in charge of video packages.
We should be, but the problem
I'll tell you one thing. Brian Alvarez would stop asking for them. We were in charge.
Yeah.
So we would be heroes to the community. The day that after our 3-month tenure as the video package editors at AEW, Brian Alvarez is like, if I ever see another video package again, and then all of our friends, they take us up on their shoulders and they carry us in the streets, so they set us down and they say, okay, you can stop making those now. You don't have to make those video packages anymore.
Problem solved. We're done.
Not us. We're just getting started.
Before we get off the DCF, can we talk about the huge DCF news from this weekend?
If you tell me what it is, yeah.
Little Greggy's wedding.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot
little
Greggy's
Greggy.
wedding. Oh, he looked so handsome.
Yeah.
And his wife is so beautiful.
So beautiful. And the dress, both dresses that she was wearing were so cute. And we got a proof of life from little Dustin Chuck Taylor.
Proof of life from Dustin. And you know what? He looked very handsome and he was wearing a suit that we've never seen before.
Never seen before.
So
New
exciting.
suit.
I was so proud of him and I thought it looked really nice.
Yeah.
Sarah said it was a suit that looked befitting a Kentucky gentleman, and she was right.
I would have enjoyed a little more seersucker, but, it was in the area.
I had some questions about the fabric because there was a certain amount of wrinkling that I thought, I don't know, maybe but it's a summer wedding, so.
He don't know how to iron.
He don't know about the iron.
You don't know that there are those.
I thought he looked wonderful. We saw so many of our little friends in some of the photos that were shared. So, congratulations, Greg.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And his wife's personality looks so fun too. Like they're a little cute. Like, do we leave now? Video that his mom shared. So fun.
I hope that they get to have at least a weekend together before he has to ship back to the Don Callis mansion.
Well, I was
his bunk beds and his tents.
I was going to say, do you think that they had to spend their wedding night sharing a bunk bed?
No, I think
trying to be very quiet.
I think they have a home, and I think he got a 2-day pass, and he got to go away for the wedding, and he got to sleep in his own bed, and then I think he had to report back to camp. So good luck to you, Greg. Okay, let's move on to MJF and Mistico. Had their match. Mistico ended up winning by DQ because MJF snatched his. Was it because MJF snatched his mask off, or was
no? He did.
No, he low blowed him. So he MVP low blowed him behind the ref's back, and Mistico kicked out, and MJF was so pissed off and realized that he wasn't going to win that he low blowed him on purpose in front of the ref, got DQ'd, and then pulled off his mask. I think.
Okay. That's a good explanation. Thank you. Then that's what happened. And that's what happened. Why are you making that face at me?
Okay. I didn't want to hear that, but
no,
you told it to me.
I asked, I needed my girls to help me explain this match because I refused to. So
your voice was like that little girl who reviewed the Penguin book with, this is more information about penguins than I cared to have.
I've had a headache all day. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my very best. Please. Anyway, that's whatever Leah just said is what happened. And then MJF took Mystico's mask off, and anyway, Leah, do you want to make your points about the whole dog and pony show here?
I think that it all worked better than I would have guessed. Like, I think it was a good segment. I don't actually think I have any critiques. It's just that I'm in such a low ebb with MJF that every time he did anything, I was like, oh, fuck off. Even though actually I think it was pretty normal. And in this one case, it actually did work that he was like being like too American as like the heel, because like the dynamics were right, you know, like Mystico's so over that it was very clear who you're supposed to root for, and that like I don't know, it worked the way it was supposed to, unlike a lot of other things that have happened this year. But I don't know, I'm just in such a low ebb that I was like, and you can fuck the fuck off.
I know, and it's like at least he lost. I think it would have worked better if he had like actually like gotten pinned, because it was like clear that they were going for like a catharsis where like the ugly American gets put down by Mystico, you know? And it's like, so I would have liked a little more decisiveness, but I guess people are saying there might have a rematch. So
I've seen a lot of people say that, and I've been thinking like, who the fuck is MJF gonna wrestle it all in? I wonder if it's gonna be a Mystico.
Well, if they have a rematch, I hope he gets murdered, because the thing is, I think it's right that it's like it worked, and I understood how it was supposed to work, and I think you had a good point that you were like, okay, it's a good catharsis to have like the Luchadors and Kevin Knight and Speedball coming out to defend Mystico, and everyone's taking care of Mystico. Like, that's good. I was just like, I'm not in the mood to see an ugly American get anything but clapped in irons and taken down to the dungeons. At this moment in history,
I don't want anything ambivalent at all.
I don't want it to be a win by DQ. I don't want him getting anybody's mask off. Like, I want that man obliterated. Not in a fun way.
There was some report that maybe somebody like was following MJF after the show to like attack him for real or something, and I was like, wow, you know, a terrible person might think, wow, I hope they did it. I hope they murdered him straight up. But I mean, I wouldn't think that. Like, but a really terrible person might.
Did you see the quote about it that was just like, MJF was fine and seemed proud that the heat was good. And it was like, wrestling is crazy. What do you mean?
Every wrestler has a broken brain.
So broken.
That's it's the price of admission, basically.
Yep.
All right, and then Mercedes had a match versus Zuxis.
I think so.
That's right. Okay. Well, tell me if we have to fix it in post. And she won another belt, and now I think she has somewhere between 20 and 30 belts is about the number that I think we're at.
I think enough now that I don't actually think she can carry them with like down to the ring by herself.
Oh, so she needs
maybe
a butler.
she'll get a butler.
Yeah. Oh my God, please.
Yeah. Dustin, we have a son. We've got a son. It'd be perfect.
He needs a job. He'd love a job.
He really needs a job, and he needs to learn something about responsibility.
In this hot dog summer, he's not even doing anything. He's just lounging around, going to Greg's wedding.
Ugh, he sickens me. After the match, Toni Storm had a little black and white film noir segment that played on the big screen. Mercedes looked really pissed about it. Mina Shirakawa came out in front of the screen kind of to distract her, and then Toni slipped into the ring behind Mercedes, dressed like Carmen Sandiego, and came up behind her and sniffed her beautifully. And beautifully, I don't know. She sniffed her normally. And Mercedes made a great little shocked face. She said, I could be in the running for Mommy's Little Ham. Well, you're not going to get it this week either, but I thought you did a wonderful job. And you can certainly have a participation trophy.
Should we start doing like a tiered, like first, second, third place Mommy's Little Ham Awards?
At this rate, we might have to reward them.
I know we are getting catered to so deliciously that perhaps we need to give back to our community. Toni chased Mercedes out of the ring. There had been all these streamers, and there were so many of the streamers. I thought this was a wonderful little bit of slapstick where the refs were almost tripping over the streamers. And like everybody's movements were being hampered by the streamers, which I found quite charming. And Mercedes threw herself into a fan's arms to escape. Toni ended up hopping on the mic and screaming, "Let the games begin." Any thoughts, girls?
Loved it.
Very fun.
Yeah. They're doing fun build for this one. I feel like they're both, but give me a lot, which I like.
Yeah, they are. I had a great time. And what match was this? Oh, Hologram defeats Lio Rush and Mascara Dorada and Ricochet. Oh, this was the 4-man for 3 million pesos.
Yeah.
Once again, the men
get money matches.
Monetary rewards that the women have never been. I don't understand how this can still be going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm furious.
Why are the women not getting these chances?
Yeah. Suddenly we're offering money for matches all the time, but only for men.
To what end? Is it a tax write-off or something? Like, why is so much money on the table all of a sudden? And girls can't get one red cent of it. I'm sickened, and I'm going to call the Better Business Bureau. Not that they care. Not that anybody fucking cares. There's no one to call.
Yeah, good luck getting this administration.
You have to set yourself on fire. All right. I think we learned something about Hologram's backstory via commentary that I didn't capture the whole of it, but I didn't realize that he had any backstory. I think I kind of was like, Hologram was like born from a cloud, like, you know, but there was some whole story about he had like some like grand master who taught him everything he knew and then retreated back to the mountains. Like, I don't know. Someone tell me if you know if you clocked this.
I didn't hear any of that. That's amazing.
I missed it.
What if I hallucinated it? That would be might explain what's going on with me today a little bit. Okay, so that was
your brain got so overloaded with hologram hallucinations that you woke up really hungover today. Yeah,
I'm gonna write Toni a letter about how Hologram is dangerous to show on TV.
Yeah,
because of the intensity of his lore. Leah, what were you saying about what commentary was getting up to in this match?
Oh, it was just that, so, you know, Ricochet is like flirting with all the different factions about who's going to be his friends. And Crew last week was like, we would love to be your friends. Well, for some reason during this match, commentary just kept commenting on like how Lio Rush and Ricochet were doing together and being like, I think they look nice together. Don't you think they work well together? Oh, it's not. Actually, you know what? It doesn't seem to be going that well. Things are starting to break down. This might not be a match made in heaven, but like it ended up kind of sounding like somebody had put sports commentary over somebody's first date and
like,
just being like
sports commentary for like, are you the one?
Yeah, exactly. Just keep being like, it's so funny for them to be like, I don't think that they're going home together.
They don't have that chemistry that we crave. That's extremely funny. I did like, I must point it out that at one point, Toni and Nigel are talking about the money, and Nigel goes like, Toni, what would you do if you got 3 million pesos? And Toni said, I can't remember the first thing he said. He was like, I would do X thing. He was like, and then I'd probably get 5 more dogs. And there's just silence from Nigel. The refined ear is clearly just him being like, I don't want 5 more dogs. Toni?
Like, good thing we're not getting 3 million pesos, I guess.
I think we have enough dogs.
I already
Toni.
have 5 dogs. I don't think taking it to 10 is a good idea.
Do you even know how much we're spending on kibble every month? Anyway, all right. I think that's all we have for the. I thought it was a fun night's entertainment, and but again, fewer promos than you know we're used to. No problem. So we're going to Q&A, and Leah, take us there.
I got us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you guys asked a lot of good questions. I really, really enjoyed them. We'll see how many we get through. Cody asked, which 3 wrestlers would be in your dream blunt rotation? And, that's kind of a tough one because I'm like, my favorite wrestlers, I can't make eye contact with because I die.
You have to imagine that you're in a world where they're not your favorite wrestlers. They're just
some guys.
People you know. They're just people you're going to high school with all of the wrestlers, and they're not famous at all, and you have to choose 3 of them to smoke up with.
Yeah.
I do think Best Friends and OC would be fun group.
I know.
You'd be laughing a lot.
I think Dustin would be so annoying.
Oh, really? What do you think he'd get up to?
Yeah. What do you think his vibe is?
I think he would don't you think he's a I'm not touching you kind of high? He's
do you think
trying
he'd
to
throw mustard packets at you and stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Well, he doesn't have to. No one's obligated to touch him.
He was like, I don't think he touched me at all. I was like, well, that seems fine. Yeah.
That's the criteria we're using.
No, but yeah, he would be doing annoying stuff on purpose probably. But I think I don't know. I think it would be funny.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, of course I would love to get high with my faves. This is the problem. I've had to open the men's roster and I'm trying to remember who goes here. Oh, man.
I would say Chris Stat.
Oh, I do Jack Perry.
Oh, Jack Perry would be great.
And then I'm asking him about all his tools and his hot metals and stuff.
Oh my God.
And I think he'd be really chill about it.
Yeah.
I would never get high with Darby Allin. I'll say that.
No,
I think
absolutely
he would
not.
be in some, I mean, he won't get high. He's straight edge, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Max Caster would be funny, but horrible.
I just cannot imagine. I don't know what he would be getting up to. I'm trying to think, what do I like to do when I'm really high? I want to be watching a movie with other people who like talking a lot during movies. And I want us to be barely processing the movie, but talking about the movie the whole time. That's my dream.
Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston would be great.
John Silver would be fun.
John Silver, I think that I would be I feel like I'd be okay, attention hog.
A little much, yeah.
I think it would be a little much. I'd be some of us are trying to get our bits off too. So, That's all the men I can think of. Oh, going to the women. Good. I mean, you could just
Carly would be fun.
Carly would be fun. Although she would get the puppet out, Oh, you're going to hear a lot of
ventriloquism. And if I'm too high,
if
I'm too high, that puppet's going to freak me out.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's this one is kind of you're you don't know her yet, so God, what's going to happen? But I'll get high with Tekla.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
I'm willing to try. I'm willing to put myself out there. See
you're
what's
willing
going
to
on.
get high.
She's an artist.
Make out with Tekla, yeah.
Yeah, for science.
It's really big of you.
For fucking science. I bet Willow Nightingale very fun.
Yeah. That'd be really fun. Actually, if you got Willow and Swerve, that would be really chill.
Well, I would get Willow and Stat. I feel like that'd be a lot.
Willow,
Stat, and OC.
That's a perfect blood rotation. Yeah, I'm signing on for that one. Yeah.
Great.
That's perfect. All right. This is from Roddy. Of the AEW cast, who would best survive the backstabbing subterfuge of a stereotypical European medieval court, and who would get their head cut off right away? Max Caster would get executed so quickly.
Murdered for sure. If he did it, it would only be by the grace of God, where it's you could have him in a role where he's constantly somehow ending up in new courts and they think they're killing him, but he somehow ends up somewhere else. But it's there's no way he's going more than 10 minutes in any given court without it being someone take that guy out back.
Yeah.
Get his head.
You know who can navigate complex and political situations is Big J, Chris Jericho.
Oh my
Big
God.
Big J is surviving, yeah.
Oh, he'll survive any situation. Yeah, he was raised by Vince McMahon in the political hellscape.
Guys,
I was thinking...
Remember that moment during the show last night where I just said Big J would have loved this? Like he was dead. Big J would have loved this. I wish he could have seen this.
Too bad.
What were you saying, Leah?
I think Adam Cole would also do fairly well because he just somehow
interesting.
like
Yeah,
he somehow gets people.
Yeah.
Outperforms his abilities.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, I think, he would be very good at like being in phases where people are like, Adam Cole doesn't even play the Game of Thrones. You know? And it's like,
he's just so nice.
Right.
We just all like him. It's like, oh, yeah, that's because he's playing it way better than you can even imagine.
Matt Jackson, of course, he's doing just fine. He's been engaged to 19 different princes. They've all died. Don't worry about that. Yeah, those are some big winners. Who else is dying immediately, if anyone? I don't know. We did
Dustin, probably.
Dustin. No, Dustin is not in the castle. Are you kidding?
I think
he's a peasant. He's out in the fields.
I think Dustin OC and Greg are actually pretty good about being like, oh, this is a hostile court. I think I'll just like melt against the wall. Yeah,
They're
That's
like,
true. Yeah,
it is like one of their top
trouble.
skills is just being like, and suddenly I'm not there. Like, oh, shit's going down. I'm not there.
Yeah, actually, OC would be on the king's private plane, like just not causing any trouble, like doing anything he needed.
Yeah, good.
Okay. From Stat versus OC got me into wrestling. They asked who could feud with Kyle O'Reilly to make him silly again. Who's fixing Kyle O'Reilly?
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's
Max
really
Caster?
hard. I don't know.
Although not in his current gimmick, really. So
It's like it has to be someone. I mean, it kind of has to be someone who can like seduce him away from Adam Cole. You know what I mean? Like
Ricochet's looking for friends.
yeah.
What if Ricochet was like,
Leah.
I want Adam Cole's friends?
Yeah.
Oh, Leah. That is the first like Ricochet crew pitch that I've been like, yes, take them, steal
if
them.
he stole them, that would be. And then Adam Cole was just like bewildered and all on his own.
He's like, but I was so nice to my friends.
Yeah,
No.
everybody likes me.
No.
It's like they're Ricochets now. They belong to Ricochet.
And I think it would be good for Adam Cole because you can that character should start having rage blackouts about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
more
he
Mr.
could actually-
Nice Guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Do something.
Actually, and it's very funny though, because then I was like, I guess like via wrestling logic, then like Adam Cole would be like fighting with Ricochet to get his friends back. But I'm like, he'd have to lose. He'd simply have to lose.
He'd have
Couldn't
to
get him
lose.
back.
He wouldn't be able to win.
Yeah.
And
He'd have to learn to be boring all by himself.
he'd have to, and I'd need to get a shot of him like watching from some, like balcony or something as like Kyle and Roddy are cavorting around Ricochet, and he's just being like, maybe they're happier. Yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, that's it. It's not really it's whoever Ricochet feuds with, but he needs a new guy.
Yeah.
He needs a new man in the middle, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricochet. Oh, I like that.
Quentin asks, what would you trust Beast Mortos with more? Helping with legal trouble because of the gas station, his veterinary skill, or a raw kissing booth? So what are we giving Beast Mortos to do at our Pumps for Us?
He can't do all of them? I don't understand. Like, yeah, he can be our lawyer and be in our kissing booth. That doesn't seem like a conflict of interest. That seems fine.
Yeah,
And
in a
take care of
startup,
any animals.
everybody pitches in where they can.
I don't want to. Now, I'm not saying that I want us to have a startup environment, one of the worst environments you can have. Oh my God, I would pay, I don't know, conservatively $3 million just to watch the Beast Mortos pick up a little squirrel with a broken leg and pet its back and be like,
Gently.
we got to get a splint on this little guy. And I'm just imagining that there's squirrels like that around, probably broken squirrels around not for any suspicious
Yeah, what's
reason.
going on at our pumps? And there are broken squirrels all around.
I don't know. It's like
We don't know
Max,
what Darby gets up to, you know?
I was gonna say Max Caster's been chasing him or something. He's been barking at him. I don't know. Yeah. So he can. I think all
All
three,
of them.
Certainly
Yeah.
he can all of them. But actually, I guess I maybe. I'm like the veterinarian thing. It's not really that I trust him the most, but that's the thing I want to see the most. Even more, you might be like, well, what about normal kissing? No, probably the squirrel thing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's like it's a corner we don't have like nailed down yet. Like
No.
we don't, if he's
We
not
don't
doing
have
that,
a vet.
yeah,
We straight up don't have a vet.
we don't
and
have a vet. We need him to.
Mm.
I
handle
feel
that,
ashamed that we didn't even think about how surely we'll need one.
Yeah.
And
I
a
mean,
vet
I'm-
can treat a human in a pinch. So
Yeah, he can be our doctor, our ring doctor, too.
Which I don't know if you girls saw the conversation in the Discord that I didn't remember until right now, but there were some protests about us calling the trainer's room med bay.
why?
Because they don't think Doc Sampson's qualified to be in med bay,
Oh.
and at best he should be running the nurse's office, which is so funny.
And I actually did think calling it the nurse's office was really funny. Like I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I could onboard the nurse's office. And it's kind of a toss up. It's like that could win.
Yeah.
We'll
Nurse's
see what
office
happens
is
week to
good.
week.
Although there were some spurious rumors about Doc Sampson's qualifications, and he is a full-on board-certified doctor.
I like that you came in.
I do
want
to clear that
Listen,
up.
I know what thing you're
Yeah.
doing. This is fine.
I think we all Googled osteopath, got very scared, and then Googled doctor of osteopathy and got less scared.
It's regular. Yep.
I think it's going to be situational from now on. It's like some things that are happening, you'd be like, they have to take that man to med bay. But then like other things, it's like he got a boo-boo, so he went to the nurse's office. You know, it's like it just
That's right.
depends on
Yeah.
not only the injury, but how the man is handling the injury.
So true. So true. Like
Yeah.
Matt Jackson's
Matt
going
Jackson was
to
going to the nurse's
Yeah.
office for
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah.
And the nurse is just like, Matt, please go back to class.
Matt's like, can I lie down and take a
I'm having
Midol?
cramps. Matt, this is the 5th time you've been in here this week. Please go back to Calc 1. All right, yeah.
From beloved Rambones, we kind of covered this, but in the beginning of the show. But how did seeing Hangman cut a pure babyface promo in Spanish and Brody King walking out in an abolished ICE shirt make you feel as fans of an art form that has at time been rightfully criticized as regressive? Pretty relieved, Rambones.
Yeah,
pretty relieved.
pretty relieved. Pretty
I would say it
relieved.
felt great.
Real good.
Pretty
Yeah.
relieved. I think, if you are into wrestling, you really live in fear of moments when like bad opinions will come to the fore in a way where you've kind of been like, I bet they have a bad opinion, but thank God I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
You live in fear of the moments when you will unfortunately be forced to know. And it's a cool drink of water to occasionally be reminded that some people have good fucking vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking vibes.
And obviously, like we've talked about the times that AEW has not had the good vibes, but I do feel like overall they try pretty hard to be pretty good about stuff.
Yeah,
which
to
is
be
good.
cool and respectful and not fucking jackasses. That's good. Keep on, we can always keep working towards that. All of us.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. I liked it.
Yeah, very much.
Abolish ICE.
Please.
Doc Lariat says, after experiencing real Lucha Libre tonight, do you agree that Lucha with the costumes and the drama and the fight is the best?
I love the costumes and I'm like, it seemed like the same amount of drama kind of to me.
Not enough drama, actually.
Yeah,
I'm like,
in a
I
way.
assume when they're not like, we say this about Forbidden Door too, where it's like kind of hard to have the kind of drama that we like, but they must be doing it when they're at home
Sure they
with
are.
each other, right?
Right.
They
Surely they
Lucha
do.
still talks to
Doing
each
the
other.
drama when they're
doing
at home
our
with each
kind
other.
of drama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
I think so.
Surely they are. I mean, yeah. I feel like just the language stuff meant they didn't have promo segments, but I'm sure like CMLL is doing, backstage promos. In
I hope that
Spanish,
there's
right?
kissing. And
Yeah,
you
surely
know,
there's kissing.
when they're at
reckless
home and they're
kissing.
comfortable, I hope they're kissing.
Reckless
When they're
kissing.
comfortable.
I think that our wrestlers should definitely pick up some of the lucha like costuming and energy, but you know, I'd like to see some more drama from our lucha doors.
Yeah.
We want to see what they get up to behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And that's what we always say.
If they could send us some video of behind the closed door stuff, that'd be amazing.
Let's get that. Let's see it. And we'll weigh in after that point. No, had a great time. Like,
yeah, Lucha's great.
Yeah. From Steph, imagine the best friends have been cast in a movie alongside the Muppets and you've been hired to write the script. What's happening in that movie? Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Okay. Yeah. I'm on board.
You know what little OC would like is a Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd love to be in a Muppet Fast and Furious. But I'd like, you know what? I think I would, and he wouldn't like this as much. I'm like, I'd make it a period piece, and it would be like they're racing wagons or something.
Racing wagons.
It's like Fievel Goes West meets the Muppets with the best friend.
It's still a musical, like Fievel.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I also any like getting the gang back together type like the original Muppet movie.
Muppets love to do that. Yeah,
I would love to see. I don't know who would be leading the charge of those three. I don't know who's going to be leading the charge, but I'd love the idea that like poor Dustin somehow ends up in the situation where he's like, I'm the only guy who's going to try and get the gang back together. Like, I guess. And I would love watching him give it the old college try.
When Dustin finally gets to the point where he's like, I've got to get the gang back together, the first thing he does is go on Amazon.com and order them an outfit. And then he's going to everybody's houses. He's got a jumpsuit in his hand and he says, let's go.
I love imagining him in like the van from the Muppet movie, and it's just full of tracksuits. And like everywhere he goes, he's like getting a tracksuit.
He's like driving up to an office building where OC is like at an architecture firm, like not wearing denim, and he's got his tracksuit for him.
I want to see him in that little tracksuit.
Yeah,
I want to see OC holding out and being like, "No, I'm a grown up now. I don't do that kind of thing anymore."
Yeah,
but then he gets in that tracksuit.
Yeah.
Then he gets in that tracksuit.
It's like an Ocean's 11 heist situation. Like
Muppets Take Manhattan.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Only Muppet movies. Yeah, so probably something like either that Fievel Goes West thing or this heist thing. Or Harold and Kumar.
I can't wait till we pitch this to somebody and we're like, okay, it's Fievel Goes West meets Fast and the Furious meets the Muppet movies meets Harold and Kumar, and it's starring 3 wrestlers you've never heard of.
Yeah. Don't you guys think Dustin would be amazing as the human in a Muppet?
Oh yeah,
in a movie with
so
Muppets
good.
though? It's like his perfect role. Because he kind of does that in Best Friends already, I think.
He kind of does. Yeah, it's like Dustin. If you told me that Dustin sees the world, like in the 30 Rock bit, if he sees the world as being full of Muppets and doesn't fully trust any of them, I would believe you.
Yeah.
So he would be perfect at he's just like, a lot of weirdos around here. You gotta respect him, but you don't have to understand them. Am I right?
Bailey Purple Pierogi asked a pretty good one. Not that any of them were bad, but I like this one. What wrestler do you think, on average, would do the best in the dating game? Like, if we pull their name randomly, they're almost always going to succeed on their date. I'm feeling like Adam Cole is a good good bet that he's
people pleasing behavior.
Yeah,
people pleasing. This is like the person most likely to find love, or the person most likely to have the other person fall in love with them.
I think it's that. It's got to be that one. I think
most likely to.
It feels like it shouldn't be like the most lovable, dateable person, but the person like best at the act of dating to an end of making somebody want to date you.
Yeah.
So it's got to be someone who can like shift a little, you know?
Mm-hmm. A little accommodating, a little like roll with the punches, like ready to seduce the Beast Mortos. And
unless you can
Claudio.
think of somebody who you're like, I do just think that everybody they went on a date with would be like, fuck yeah, I wish I could date you.
I mean, Hangman's the only other
Hangman
one
in
that
kayfabe is basically that guy. That every single person who feuds with him is like, I'd like to marry you. I'd like to lock that down.
I think it's like, but I'm like, he's so. If there was something you didn't agree with Hangman about, like it's like you might want that, like his date might want to end up like wanting to fuck it out, but like there are going to be people who would just be like, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
Because he won't give ground, you know.
Yeah.
You know, if they start talking about politics, like Hangman will have a position. Adam Cole will go with whatever the other person says.
Cole's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not gonna fight with you about your favorite movie. He hasn't seen any movies. He doesn't know what a movie is. Like, you know?
How dare you? He's seen some Disney movies.
God, one of the most disturbing clips I've ever seen of adults. Anyway,
Of adults.
of adults. Like if they were children, it would have been fine. Yeah, I it might be him. I'm scrolling, just trying to think. Like
I could see Willow doing pretty.
I also
well.
was thinking like, yeah. I mean, but it's like that's just like a totally like undeniable personality where it's just like, what are you're gonna do? Not have a little crush on Willow Nightingale? Grow up.
Yeah.
You think you're too good for Willow? You're not.
You're not.
Get a
good
fucking
enough.
job. Get away from her. What do you guys think about the inverse question of like who's gonna bomb the most dates?
Max Caster.
That's faster. Yeah.
Every date. Every date.
Possibly the Guns too.
The Guns, yeah.
Well, because they only show up to dates together. I think that we've established that before.
Yeah, that does hurt them for sure.
It's
I mean,
definitely
many
hampering.
wrestlers would do really bad, I think.
Universally badly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best I can do in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. The IWC can be filled with a lot of actually types, but is there
I didn't notice that.
Oh, and this was from Jared. I forgot to say. This is Jared J1. Is there any particular wrestling related reference, whether modern or historical, that you would like to actually know the answer to? Yeah. What did Okada and Omega think about each other in 2006?
No,
Leah,
see, the thing is, I'm scared.
Everybody's explained it very clearly.
I don't want to hear another word about their history. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I'm
The other
scared
day,
to
a
ask any
conversation broke out in our Discord where they tried to explain it to us. 5 people at one time all tried to explain it to us, and not one of those people agreed with each other. They all told a different story. All of the stories contradicted each other. We've given up.
Yeah. I'm honestly like afraid to ask any wrestling question of anyone because like everyone wants to drown me in too much information all the time.
Yeah, it's
I
hard
think
to get a pithy answer.
It's hard to, I'm like, what was Anne and I had one at one point? We were like, we wanted to understand
Montreal Screwjob.
The Montreal
but we went
Screwjob.
deep, and now I feel like I do understand it.
I've actually forgotten everything that we.
Our big takeaway was that it was funny.
Now that sounds right. That sounds like us. I think I'd have to think about this one. Because there's nothing that's come aside from Okada and Omega. Nothing that's come up recently.
I feel like NWO stuff like comes up, and I don't know what the deal is with that.
What's NWO?
They were like,
why
a
did
heel.
ECW matter? Did it matter?
Oh, that's a great one.
That's a great question. If you could answer Allie's question, did ECW matter in less than 100 words?
Think about
the
the deepest emotional truth of ECW in the context of professional wrestling. And just tell me that. What are some of these other old promotions? I'd probably the same about any of the, your WCWs. Did WCW become WWE?
No, they were the rivals that were on the TBS and TNT, and then they went under, and that's where everyone's major trauma comes from. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I think Jim Cornette was running WWE developmental in that time frame.
Was Eric Bischoff involved?
Yes, I think.
I'm
This is
smiling really
disgusting.
big. I'm
This
so
is just-
happy.
Look at all the points
Girls,
I just got on the
this
board,
is-
you guys.
This is
Look at all
this
those
is-
points.
I got a
wow.
point
This
on the
is
board.
huge.
At least a half a point for even
Oh, yeah. You got a point on
suggesting
the
that
board.
perhaps Eric Bischoff was
Yeah,
involved.
there's points. There's points on the board, but this is the scariest our board has ever looked.
I know.
It's pretty terrifying.
Jim Cornette was
Of course,
something
all
like
of that could be wrong.
Jim
really
Cornette was something
easily.
like something mountain wrestling. Did you just say that?
Jim Cornette did like Mid-South. He's in Louisville. He
Mid-South.
ran
Jim
OVW
Cornette
when it was the
Jim-
WWE.
Jim Cornette
JC Penny
Promotions.
production.
Eric Bischoff did book WCW. Hell yeah.
Wow. I know. He ran him into the ground.
He did. He was bad at it.
Mismanaged the money.
Yeah, he also worked with TNA.
Huh. Well, did that answer your question?
That is your question.
We got distracted just trying to name things that we know the names of. I will think about it.
James, I think it's our James, wants to know what rom-com movie do you think the Death Riders would be massive fans of?
Oh my God.
That's a good one.
Okay, let's think about what they like in a film.
What
Or
films
in
have they
life.
seen?
Is there a fun rom-com that's about cults? I have to run to, list of romantic comedies. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so like Claudio and Mox and Brian.
Do you have
Well, I
to
guess-
remind yourself who's in the Death Riders?
I'm just thinking about I'm just contemplating each of them individually and
What
thinking.
they have in common. What if they secretly, this is like they go down to the dungeons together and they lock the door and so that Renee can't come down and find them out. And then they watch like Singing in the Rain.
I keep
love
thinking
that.
about 27 Dresses for some reason. I don't think it's right. It's just, I could see Mox and Claudio really getting into some rom-coms though.
I just almost made a really big boo-boo because I just finally watched the recent version of this and was like transported, loved it so much. And I almost just said that the romantic comedy that they would love was West Side Story.
Well, their fiction does have some West Side Story gang
comedy.
energy.
That's the problem.
No,
But I do think they
no.
would love watching
Yeah.
it, especially the recent Spielberg one. I think that they would be down there learning the dances
Oh,
together.
yeah. I agree.
I feel like a
agree.
lot of Mox's like tough guy body language is sort of straight out of West Side Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like imagining everyone else having a sing-along and Mox is like leaning over his knees, just peering at the screen, just transfixed, just like loving it so much. That
Yeah.
feels really good.
Was James Dean in any romantic comedy?
I also wonder, oh God, I just had one and now I can't find or remember it. Well, it is what it is. God, gonna have to think on this one more too. Licorice Pizza is not a romantic comedy.
People
I've never heard of
people
that.
who make lists do not
It's a
know
P.T.
what
Anderson.
genres are.
This is crazy.
Lists of romantic comedies are completely insane. Yeah.
I just feel like
I feel like they like Sandra Bullock movies, you know?
oh yeah.
I think they love like a 2 weeks notice.
Yeah. Or like a While You Were Sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the idea of them watching While You Were Sleeping and well, actually, I did watch While You Were Sleeping with my friend Dylan once, and he, I don't know, doesn't watch rom-com. Everyone else in the room had seen While You Were Sleeping, kind of like understood like the premise of While You Were Sleeping, and Dylan kept being like, "This is completely unbelievable. Why would she say that? Why would she do that?" And I love the idea of the Death Riders watching all together and just one of them, maybe it's little baby Yuta, just being like, "Why would she say that?" And Mox and Connie are like, "Shut up." She's very lonely, Yuta. It just seems like a stupid thing to do.
How does
Yeah.
she think it's going to work out well? Shut up, Yuta.
Shut up, Yuta.
Yuta. It's a movie, Yuta.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
That was fun.
Brandon Van Candia asks, what is your platonic ideal for a Dynamite collision or a pay-per-view? As in, like, what makes the three of you say, yes, this is what it fuels me? It's like,
Well, there's a
I don't know.
Young Bucks match, so we feel
Young Bucks
comfortable
match.
to start.
So we feel comfortable. Otherwise, we just can't enjoy anything.
Just to calm our nerves, like we know there's a Young Bucks match.
Yeah. Honestly, like what we're getting right now with like Hangman, with like some complex interpersonal dynamics, some sexy stuff.
Very slow drips of information about people's emotional state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're tracking minute changes, but they are changes. I'd also like, it's like there's no way for a booker to do this because it's not concrete enough, but like I like to have at least one match where I don't think that I care about it, and then it's happening and I'm like, this is fucking bonkers. This is crazy. I love this. I like the surprise. I don't want to go in knowing that I'm going to like everything. I like the feeling of being like, oh, this is a break match, and then being like, no, I'm obsessed. There's something totally new going on here.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, a related question from Chai Mothboy. Who is a wrestler that you were surprised by how much you like them? I would say Ricochet surprised us.
Oh, yeah.
Ricochet. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, a lot of surprises because I have no expectations of anyone, you know? So it's like Max Caster is surprising me right now. I feel like Christian Cage surprised me.
I think Big J, biggest surprise of all time. The moment when we finally fell for Big J, and I wish that I knew exactly when it was because we were anti-J for a while. Mm-hmm. But then it's like when you suddenly like when you're taking someone seriously in wrestling and you don't like them from that perspective, and then the comedy perspective clicks and suddenly you're like, everything they do is fucking funny to me. That is one of the most sublime moments that you can experience. And I've experienced it with so many wrestlers. Yeah. Now.
It's like Big Bill, Brian Cage. Yeah. Remember when our friend Erin like watched with us after not having watched for 6 months, and like MJF came out and we were like, oh, this guy. And she was like, what? You guys hate him now? And we're like, yeah. And then Brian Cage came out and we were like, oh, Brian Cage. She was like, what has happened to you guys? I don't know.
With the Big J, you know, I don't know if this is right, but I think I'm right, that it was, do you remember when he first started the Jericho Appreciation Society and he had Matt Menard doing that intro where like he was like, the Jericho Appreciation Society for X weeks and counting, and they would update it every week with how many weeks it was been. I think that was right about the time that I went from being like, what is happening here, to being like, that's so fucking funny that I'm in love with Chris Jericho.
Yeah, that does feel like the right time frame, because I do feel like when he was putting his boy band together of the Jericho Appreciation Society, it was like, this is the funniest man.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because it's like, you might, listening to this, you might say like, why not just have the comedy goggles on from the beginning with everyone? And it's like, you can't. I think it's impossible, at least for me. Like, you have to get to know somebody before you can be like, I'll take this with a little grain of laughter.
Yeah, it's like Josh Alexander might have that transformation, but right now,
yeah.
Man, surprised. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. It might be, honestly, I know I had that Omicron surge early, but when I just look at him, sometimes I'm like, Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much I love you. It's crazy how much I love you.
Brian Danielson for me a little bit, yeah.
Swagamice asks, do you guys have any background in comedy?
Just been so fucking funny my whole life. No.
Wow, what a sweet question.
It is a very sweet question.
We don't.
No, we're just normal bitches who love to laugh. Yeah. If I'm not laughing, I'm fucking pissed off. So that's my only comedy background.
Background in watching comedy.
Just big joke fans.
Just fans of jokes. Love to laugh.
Like, my background in comedy is that I watched Singing in the Rain at a young age, and they have that song where he's just like, make 'em laugh, and he says dignity, always dignity, and I say that to myself all the time. That's probably where this all comes from. Dignity, always dignity.
My best friend Hannah, who asked to be referred to as my best friend Hannah, she is, says, who do you currently in summer 2025 think would be the best wrestler to lay an egg and then brood it until hatching?
Wow, what a good question, Leah.
Take it away, Leah.
Max Caster's thick thighs would surely keep an egg warm.
And yet, at the same time, I think Max Caster would break his egg.
Yeah, I don't think he's responsible enough to have custody of an egg. Yeah,
it's true. But who else has the combination? Because like
thick thighs and responsibility.
You're gonna like this. Brody King could hatch an egg.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah, he could.
Brody
that's the right
King
answer.
Could definitely hatch an egg.
It's the strength and the protectiveness, and I think he would take it almost too seriously.
What is Julia if not an egg that he's already hatched?
He's brooded.
Everyone's always saying that. What is Julia if not an egg?
He's got his empty nest now. Now that he stopped sitting on Julia.
I thought you were just gonna say an empty egg. Like, yeah,
he just has her shell pieces.
He's the kind of dad who would keep the shell.
It's in her baby book. Yeah.
Wow.
She's gonna want to see that for years to come. Yeah,
I'll be thinking on that.
Yeah, I think that's the best answer for sure.
Yeah, I think
I could see Matt Menard also being.
Oh my God, he would do great. He would do great with an egg.
Matt Menard, it would be like a comedy situation where he like puts together like a sling, so he's like walking with the egg like wrapped to it. You know what I mean? Like it's, but not in a normal way.
It's not like the normal way you'd wear an egg in a sling.
I was literally imagining, I was like, so he's sitting on it all the time. So it was like a sling that attaches it to his butt. And that's crazy. I agree that's crazy because you could just put it in a swaddle on your front side.
I think that Nigel and Toni would be the penguins at the zoo where they like give him, they give them an egg and they're like, you have to, you need this, and so they like they hatch it together.
I want to spend. How long does an egg? How long does an egg take? How long do they have to sit on it? You know.
I mean, it depends on what kind of egg. I think. What's species
the
are
longest? Let's Google this right now. People are going to love this.
For humans, an egg takes 9 months.
I know. Longest egg to hatch. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Well, there's a deep sea octopus that can take 53 months to hatch.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's the longest time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say 4 months. Okay. That seems reasonable. I'd love to watch Toni and Nigel take care of an egg for 4 months on Collision. And every week I get to see them and they have the egg nestled between them and they take turns tending to the egg.
Thinking of Tony Khan as the zookeeper, like, you need this. He's like, Nigel and Toni, like, they're a little sad. they need this together. They need an egg.
They need it.
After all they went through with FTR, they need this.
They need
I'm
it.
so obsessed. I love the idea that people are always coming to Tony Khan, the zookeeper, and being like, can I talk to you about the zoo finances or whatever? And he's like, not now. I'm thinking about the eggs.
With the penguins, like I feel like with some animals, it's like they give them like an egg or like a rock to sit on that's an egg, and then like 4 months later they like swap in like an orphan baby animal. They're like, "This is your baby. You sat on that rock."
Who at AEW is most likely to happily sit on the rock for 4 months and then accept Julia Hart?
I mean, Max Caster.
Max Caster is like, I'm doing an amazing job with this egg, and if it were an egg, it would have been dead day one. But because it's a rock, it's like, this is fine. Yeah. He's hitting people with it.
He's got a petition. It's a certified egg. He's showing everybody the certificate.
From your precious United States government. Oh, I wish that everybody had an egg.
I wish it was like a high school like health class challenge where everyone was given an egg and had to take care of it. Like I wish I was watching a month of Dynamites where the wrestlers were like were carrying around this egg and being like, Tony says I get $500,000 if this egg makes it to next week.
We would do such a good job at a reality show. Like AEW All Access would have been so much better if they had just like done the egg challenge. They all kept having to do, like OC's having to do a talking head about like the egg and it's rigged so that it cries every 4 hours, you know. And
I would love to watch OC do the egg challenge, because the thing is, if it's like you give Orange Cassidy an egg and you're like, this is your baby, you have to take care of it and it can't get hurt. outwardly it would be like, yeah, no problem, easy. But I feel like I could see that man begin to physically tense. Being like, if anything happens to this egg, I will kill everybody in this room and then myself. Not because he loves the egg so much, but because he cannot have that stain on his pristine record.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
like,
Dustin's like trying to dump that.
It's basically what happened to OC with the international belt, right? Like he wanted, he was like, I don't give a shit. It can just go in my backpack. And then slowly he was like, if I fucking lose this belt, it's over for me.
We're getting like a month and it's like, okay, challenge over, give the egg back. It's just,
OC's like,
it's my egg. Someone's going to have to win it.
It's going to hatch.
Tony Khan has to set up a tournament to win OC's egg back from him.
Tony Khan has to swap out a different. He's got to go through his egg reserves and be like, "What live eggs do we have here?" Like, I guess I never thought of giving him one, but he does need it.
Oh my God! Then he gives him Julia Hart and says, "Here, you did a good job."
Wow, you hatched this amazing wrestler.
And OC's like, oh, thank God. He like suddenly finally relaxes for the first time in 6 months.
The fact that I can't watch this on TV is so sickening to me.
I know.
I wish I were dead.
Well. Caitlin asks, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Like, do you think it's like based on like actually you, or like just like what you wish you had? You know?
Yeah. I think what you wish, maybe. I don't want the power I deserve, because I think the power I deserve would be really like boring or like whatever.
What one do you like?
Yeah, what do you think you deserve?
Yeah. Should we get into that real fast?
No.
I think what if I superpower? That's crazy. I was just thinking about superheroes and I was like, Superman can like use that webbing, but he never turns it into beautiful yarn.
Superman doesn't have webbing.
Spider-Man.
I love the idea that you become Spider-Man, but you never save anybody. You just get into like web crafting.
Yeah, you're just doing beautiful artisanal rugs.
Artisanal webs and webbings, and I become internationally known for my very rare spider silk yarns. But I only sell them to people who I deem worthy. And I think they'll make something beautiful. I don't sell them to people if I don't think you'll make something beautiful with it.
With great power comes great responsibility.
So I'd say that's probably my superpower.
That feels right. Yeah, that's really right.
Can you guys top that? You know?
I feel like I can't. I really don't.
It's like, I mean, teleportation, I guess. Like, that's nice.
So you can come visit me at my spider silk factory.
Because I want to see that silk. Yeah, I got to get there.
I had a feeling, yeah.
Anne and I are your delivery people. We take the beautiful... Yeah. We snap. We walk around. And we're like, we make people like swear oaths before they take delivery.
God. We do home visits to make sure that it's an appropriate place.
Guys, I would make you the most lustrous spider silk garments. Like you would not regret for a moment joining this business with me, and we'll be very rich. We'll be very, very rich.
Amazing.
I love it. I love this for us. I love our lifestyle. We're running a prestige, and then we can use that money to start our pumps.
To start our pumps, yes. That's the whole. That's what this is all leading towards. We don't need another billionaire. We're the confident billionaire queens. And we clad the wrestlers in lovely spider silks as well. They have wonderful elasticity, so they're very good to wrestle in. And
beautiful, finely crafted, practical. They probably wick sweat away. Yeah,
wick sweat away. People are calling wrestlers. Of course they want to come work for our pumps, but if they can't, they're like, can I at least get some of these amazing spider silk?
And we're like, will you be a good steward of it, Sami Zayn? I don't know.
Well, you can have a home visit just like anybody else.
That's right. We're pretty busy between the home visits and booking our pumps, but, we make it work like Tony Khan.
The thing is that I actually don't know. I know that sometimes Spider-Man just has like I think he just has a little man-made machine that's making webbing for him. But I think some of them have a real spider gland. There's a lot of these Spider-Men.
A lot of Spider-Men.
Because of the length of how long these comics have been, you all know this. Anyway, mine would be all natural. That's because it's my superpower.
It would
I
come
don't
out of
have
your
any
glands.
other spider superpower. I just got this.
You can't climb walls.
No.
You don't have anything else.
I don't
you just
have
have the gland.
no
She tried it
super
once. She
senses.
shot her gland at like the top of a building, and she was like, "Oh no, I can't. I don't want to do that." Wasteful. This is valuable spider silk.
I mean, I can only make so much of it. You know, I'm just one woman. I'm just one artist.
Just one artisan. We keep trying to get bit by radioactive spiders so me and Leah can join in and also start producing the silk. But
Guys, I wish you could. Maybe I'll bite you both. Do you think we can give that a try?
That's so nice.
that's so nice.
Yeah, so I think that's our answer is that I'll have the superpower of making the spider silk and then I'll bite Anne and Leah and we'll see how that turns out, you know? And you might get the silk thing or you could get something else.
Oh my God. If we
Hepatitis.
each get a spider sense, but not all of them,
Not all of them. So together, we're one.
and we
complete-
still don't save people.
We're just like, wow, these fangs are kind of annoying. Like, I got the spider eyes, but it's hard to parse all the things I can see now.
And you look beautiful with those faceted spider eyes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be unsettling at all. Yeah.
No, I think it would be lovely. I wish I could see it.
I could pull it
God, I
off.
wish this
Yeah.
were real life.
Make it work.
All right, well, I think that was a normal answer.
Jen of our beautiful mood boards,
Oh my
wrestling,
God.
our
Queen
episode
Jen.
mood boards. We love you, Jen. Says, is there a storyline that you thought was going one way and it went somewhere else and disappointed you? Or a storyline that you think would be perfect, but TK doesn't understand what the girlies need? Well,
Most of them.
most of them.
Most
The-
of
Most of them.
The first one really, really struck me, and I thought about it for a while. And what I came up with was, do you remember the period of time where we thought OC might be turning bad, that the ring was going to
Yeah.
corrupt him?
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
they kind of didn't do anything with that.
Didn't do that.
That was kind of,
Yeah.
God,
that was
yeah.
kind of the one that I did think was like, because most of the things on the show that were like, this is what's happening. We know it's not, but that one I thought it might be happening.
Really, almost every best friend storyline that immediately got interrupted by Greg pulling a muscle.
Right.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your wedding, Greg.
I know. Thanks so much, Greg. I think the Elite reunion last summer was pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think those are big ones where it was a real like we felt really hyped, and then
Mhm.
eventually it was like, well, I would have booked that.
Yeah, that
I
kind of
would've
was
booked it
nothing
different.
in the end. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of makes sense that those were the two things we were really hyped about, because I think most storylines we are pretty good about taking things as they come and, just being like,
Yeah.
well, week to week, what is our mood about it? But
Right. Yeah.
Although I feel like I wish I could think of them, because I'm like, I know there are some storylines that especially earlier on I would be like, I'm confident that I'm following this correctly, and then it would not be that at all. And it's like the child's like feeling of just like, but what? why did my snowman melt? Because that's what snowmans do, baby.
Yeah.
That's what wrestling's
Born to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben asks, after All In, who does Mox kiss next, Swerve or Osprey?
I honestly think that it's like, and I say this like loving the idea of it. I'm like, is Osprey ready to be kissed? Like,
He's, running his way into friendship. He's still.
Yeah, but maybe Mox can make him a man.
He has made some friends. Maybe he is ready to move past it.
I'd love a storyline where Mox is like kind of been being deprogrammed, decultified. His power's been stripped away. And he and Osprey have like one interaction, and Osprey's vibe a little bit is just like, oh, I'm not really supposed to be talking to you, I don't think, but I hope everything goes well. But he has that natural friendly energy, and Mox is kind of like, I'm just gonna hang around with you a little bit. Like it's the first time anyone's been like, I'll befriend you, Will Ospreay.
Oh, a little seduction story. I do think watching Will Ospreay become a woman would be pretty exciting. Actually,
I want to watch him get that foot popping first kiss for sure.
Yeah.
Like if like Mox got up in his face in the way that Mox does,
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see Ospreay's eyes just big as dinner plates, big
Yeah.
as saucers. Just like, what am I feeling?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
And it's
And I
like,
do-
that's what
yeah.
happens in the bed. You didn't know that the whole time you had your boss on the mattress. It's just like, I thought they were playing Scattergory.
Yeah.
So probably Ospreay for that reason. I mean, it's like, we know
Yeah.
he could kiss Swerve and it would be really sexy,
Yeah.
but
But I do think Mox could bring it out of Ospreay when perhaps few could.
I want
It's
to see
possible.
Ospreay's reaction to getting a kiss and a little back scratchy.
oh my God, he
Oh.
doesn't even know about little back scratching.
Even though his paws have been on the bed the whole time, he's never noticed it.
That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
It's just the most startled dog in the world. A dog that's truly seen its own reflection for the first time. Yeah, so probably that.
Well, I've saved our last question. Well, I've saved our best question for last. You guys have all done amazing. This has been
Oh my God, yeah, these were
Yeah.
great.
really
These were
great.
questions.
A lot of
questions,
good
guys.
questions.
Really good.
So I'm going to wrap up with a question from David, who asks, "Why Chuck Taylor?"
Now, did we come into your house and ask why you gave birth to your son?
Oh my god.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh God. No, never mind.
Should we tell you
What?
about a little show called Poppin' Dogs and Talkin' Hogs, where someone put his juicy boy kissing brain on display for us at a pivotal time in our wrestling fandom?
And just in our general, emotional development, we were at a time in our lives where we needed to hear a man repeatedly ask other men, who would you most want to kiss at New Japan? And see
Yeah.
every single other person be like, why are you asking me that? Why?
When he's
now,
like,
why would you, a man,
"Sonata."
ask me? The like living rent free in my head. I think it was like Juice Robinson, who was like,
Yeah.
okay, so I have to kiss someone,
And Chuck
Dustin
Taylor's
goes,
like
"You get
offended.
to."
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
like, you
gets
want
to.
Yeah.
And who was the one who was like, it's a passionate kiss, right? Was that like Colt, I think, maybe?
Oh, maybe.
And Dust was like, yeah, passionate, obviously.
Obviously fucking passionate. What do you mean? Just watching him be like, okay, I'm going to my Mind Palace. I can't wait for someone to tell me a sexy story. And then, like, nobody ever does.
No one ever does.
God, I have to fucking do everything around.
Everyone else so confused. He has all the answers at the tip of his tongue. He's like,
And
first
it
choice,
was
second
always-
choice.
It was always so fun to watch him ask the question and then slowly get disappointed by what was going on. But then he'd have to just sit there and wait while the other person fumbled their way through an inadequate answer just so Dustin could go, "Mine Sonata."
I know. It was like, it happened the same way so many times. But it's like the fact that he couldn't stop himself from asking the question. Like, he's like, maybe this time I'll find a kindred spirit.
Did Greg even have one?
I don't know. Greg's vibe was like, I don't know. He always puts us on the list. So
Greg's like, I mean,
just let
it's
him
his
do
show
it.
too, so.
It's just that he's funny, and he's like has an affect where he's like, I don't care. Nothing impacts me, and it's like everything impacts you, and you care a lot, I think.
Yeah.
And when a man is like feels like their whole vibe is like, I'm uncomfortable caring, but I care so much. That's like, I mean, it's like catnip for a girl like me. It's like, oh, I got my eye on you. I gotta pay a lot of attention to you. That's probably it. And then he's, cute bodied and good in
Cute
the
body,
ring.
cute face, good
Cute in the
wrestler.
ring. Cute when he wrestle.
Yeah.
Good friends, good fun.
Good friends, good fun.
Good fun friends.
Good fun. Good family friendly fun. That's probably how everybody describes Chuck Taylor. And he's our literal child who we gave birth to. So please be respectful. I'd say that's it.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
I was very
Thank you
excited
to
for that one.
everybody who sent
Thank
us.
you to everybody.
Those were
Yeah.
great. Those were very fun to answer.
Really
Yeah.
good questions.
So maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Was there anything you wanted to talk about that you did not get a chance to talk about?
I think we really covered some topics.
Yeah, we ran the gamut, and that whole egg thing in the middle. Didn't see that coming.
I hope Hannah's very happy with how that would shook out.
She should be, because I think
Yeah.
we learned things we couldn't have guessed where we would have gone with that.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think. Okay, on that note, I've been Allie.
I've been Ann.
And I've been Leah.
This is Tunnel Talk. Our theme is by Chris Corkin. You can find us on Twitter, Tumblr, Blue Sky, and Twitch at Tunnel Talk Pod. Our Twitch stream is this very day. If you're listening on Sunday, it's Sunday, June 22nd, 8/7 Central. And again, that's twitch.tv/Tunnel Talk Pod. We have a souvenir stand. You can find it at chop-tees.com. You can find us on our feed. You can find us on the Social Suplex Network feed, where you can check out all the other great podcasts on the network. And you can find us on the Social Suplex Network Discord, where we have not yet learned what is driving Okada and Omega, but in future, who knows? Please rate, review, and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. Stay frosty more than ever. And as always, please come back next week.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences, and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity, and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently, too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.